Hey everybody, welcome to another coffee talk. It's June, finally. It feels like summer, but it's just an Okanagan spring. And this is our first coffee talk, not without Kevin, but it's our first of his sabbatical. Yes. And so lots going on at church this week for you to be aware of. Jeff, what are some of the things that they need to know most about?
Well, it's kind of exciting actually. As we mentioned on Sunday, we are allowed to have some people in the building.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited about that. We're also allowed to invite up to five people in your house.
Right.
10 people outside.
Yeah.
So what we really want to encourage you to do, if you're able, is to invite somebody else, another family or some other people over on Sunday morning and be the church where you are. Right. Gather together and watch the service and talk about it together. Yeah.
Which is really how the church did it at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
They would sometimes go first to the synagogue if there was one, or a place of prayer, but then they would every day be in each other's homes. And it's I don't know which was better news, the fact that we can have people over into our houses or meet at church. Both are good news. Mm-hmm. And we want to encourage you that it would be top-notch excellent if you invited someone over on Sunday, worshiped together, sang your hearts out, and shared a meal or just shared some time and life together. Mm-hmm. That would be a wonderful way to celebrate and worship God on Sunday morning.
Yes.
Or you could come to the church and join us there, but that's going to be a little different, right?
Yeah. We are allowed.
Yeah.
But we're only allowed up to 50 people, mm-hmm. which we will have to make a little less because we have to have our people that run the cameras and the worship team and us and so there'll probably be up to about 40 people that we can invite in addition. Mm-hmm. But you have to wear masks.
Yes.
And we can't sing out loud. So we can hum.
Sure.
We'll hum into our...
You can sing in your heart.
Sing in our heart. And I mean, we really are excited because we want to be in person. We want to see each other. So we're so excited to open up the church for that. But we also just want to encourage you, if you're able, to invite people into your homes, because we can be the church in our homes and some of us can be the church in the building. Well, we're pretty exciting. Yeah.
We're the church wherever we go.
We are, exactly.
And because
we're proclaiming Jesus with our lives.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And so, hey, do it at home, do it at the church building. Like Jeff said, you can't sing, but we can share communion together. Mm-hmm. It is Communion Sunday, so whether you're at home or in the building, if you're in the building, we will provide prepackaged elements for you. We're allowed to share prepackaged food items. And so you will receive that if you join us on Sunday morning at the church building. If you're at home, prepare your own. And if you've invited people over, share with them in communion. It'd be a wonderful way to worship God. A few things to know. If you want to come to the church on Sunday morning, you do need to pre-register. That's actually a legal requirement right now, is you have to pre-register for stuff. So you can't just show up at the church. It's also a practical requirement because we want to fill every chair we can, and we really don't want to have to turn people away at the door. You are doing an act of service to the host at the front door by pre-registering. And if you just arrive, you're almost putting them in an awkward position of having to turn you away, and we don't want that. We would rather you pre-register so that we know you're coming. We can have a spot ready for you. And we also need you to complete a health check if you're going to come. That's all part of the registration process. So to do that, there is a link in the description of this video below. You can click on it and it'll take you to where you register. You can, if you still have the Church Center app. Jeff doesn't know about the Church Center app yet.
Oh, I do.
You do?
I was watching before I came, yeah.
Oh, okay. So some of us...
I have it on my phone.
Some of us, there it is. I was looking for the icon. Mm-hmm. You can go on the Church Center app. If you've already were using that back in the fall, the services will be there very soon. Before this video is uploaded to YouTube, the service that you can register for will be there. And it will also be on the church website. We're going to have Ursula put that up Thursday so that it'll be available for registration through there. Or you can phone the church office during office hours, 9 until 2, Thursday or Friday, and she will put you on the list if there's still room for you. If you try and register online or through the app and it won't let you, that's very likely because the service is full. And so you can always call just to confirm that, and Ursula will let you know if there's space. But that's the reason for it. And so we are asking that you don't go online right away and register for every service available, but you give others an option. We know you're going to do that. We know you all want to give as many people as possible the chance to come if that they want to do so. But that's kind of, I think we're approaching it a little bit like Plan B, maybe, is come to church. Plan A is just be the church with your neighbors or friends. But yeah, please don't think of staying home and inviting people over as a lesser church option. It's an incredible way to worship God. And so
it gives you more opportunity to share. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So recap.
Yep.
Communion Sunday.
Yes.
Be ready for that, whether you're coming or not, to the church or not. Invite somebody over. Just finish watching this and call somebody up, invite them over.
Yep.
For Sunday morning. And if that's not an option, or if you'd want to come to the church, then register with the link on the bottom or on the website or in the planning center.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and I had something else I wanted to. Tell us about what some of your experiences at talk@lakeviewheightsbaptist.com.
That's right.
We'd love to be able to hear about how things are going, us being the church where we are, and to be able just to know. And then I never share anything without asking. So, but we do like to ask if hey, this is really cool, can we share this? So yeah.
Oh, it's excellent. And one of the things that was cool that was kind of happening a few times a year ago, maybe a little more than now, when we were communion at home, people would take pictures all ready for the service, and they would share that either email or Facebook, and it was I always thought it was a wonderful way to know that we really aren't alone. That we're in homes, but we're still together, connected through Jesus. And so if you're going to have people in your home, hey, why not take a picture together as you're getting ready for the service to start and share that with us. That'd be pretty cool.
It just encourages us to, and we can encourage each other with those things.
Absolutely. It's a great encouragement. Also wanted to remind you that Baby Bottle fundraiser is still ongoing. There's 2 weeks left to fill a bottle and bring it back to us, or pick up a bottle, fill it, bring it back to us, or go on to the Okanagan Valley oh boy, I always get the acronym wrong. The Pregnancy Care Center. Okanagan Valley Pregnancy Care Center. We'll put the link below as well. And then you can either fill a bottle that we will return to them, or you can go right to their website and give online. We want to support and encourage them as they walk with women through all sorts of different pregnancies. And so that's it's a great organization. We want to continue to support them and encourage you to do so. What else do we need to know about this week, Jeff?
We told you that we wanted you to, when you invite people over, to say, how have you seen God working? And we said that at Coffee Talk we talk about that, and we have been, and we want to continue. So Chris, I don't know if you want to go first, if you want me to go first.
Whichever.
How have you seen God working?
Well, I know that we talked about something else we're going to talk about, but the first thing I want to say is this. I woke up early this morning. Something woke me up at like 10 to 4 in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a great time to be awake. I fell back to sleep, thankfully. Maybe that's how God was at work. But no, as I was lying there awake in that moment of closing the blind and turning the fan off and all the things that were creating noise in my room, what I could hear through the open window was the birds already awake and singing. And what kind of started in my mind was that it was just this time. Normally where our house is, you hear a lot of highway noise, but the highway was quiet. And in its void, right? Of all the stuff of life that normally crowds in and squishes God out, that was silenced for a moment, and his creation began singing.
Oh,
And as I was
beautiful.
laying in bed thinking about, here is the birds praising their creator, singing their song, doing their thing.
Yeah.
It was this moment of worship. And then I fell back to sleep. And which wasn't for a couple more hours. And so it was
great.
good, but
Yeah.
it was one of those things that I just think, boy, when we can quiet the noise of life, the praise rises, and it was just a great time of encouragement. And
I love
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
I love that. Like, even as you're saying that, I'm thinking, oh yeah, the river behind us is
Yeah.
praising God with
Yeah.
its gurgling and
Yeah.
rushing, and birds are praise God, praise.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so neat. Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, it's kind of strange. I don't even really know how to say it. So forgive me, but it's been a tough week with this finding in Kamloops of these children that had died in the residential schools.
Yeah.
And God has been working in my heart to make me realize that something that I thought I didn't have to think about, that it was way before me. What does it matter to me?
Yeah.
He's really been working in my heart to realize this is about me learning, understanding, caring. God, we've been talking in Jonah about God's heart for people. He desperately loves people, and he wants me to have his heart, and I want to have his heart. And if I ignore this, if I don't think about it, then I'm not having his heart. And so I've seen him working in my heart, just trying to understand what happened. What does reconciliation mean? I mean, we talked in Ephesians about how the miracle of Jesus was about reconciling all different peoples, and there's a lot of work to be done in Canada, and even in our city.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I know that it begins with me understanding, learning, reading, and so that, I don't know if you want to add any more.
No, absolutely.
To that, but,
Because it's, as much as I would love to wish that all of life was just those 3:50 a.m. times of worship, it's how do we worship God in the midst of tears? How do we worship God when we realize we are complicit in something that we didn't know about? I've cried a lot this week.
Yeah.
Just and so Tuesday morning, Sheena left for work really early, and my oldest two and I were just talking on the couch, and they're like, "Dad, why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Cause." So I often have found myself trying to, now and then I have to correct my kids because they'll start calling evil that which isn't evil. And I think that when that happens, then when you're faced with evil, you've dumbed it down. And what we saw, some of us are just waking up to the fact that there's been evil under our noses, and we didn't know about it, or we were ignorant of it, or we chose to be blind to it.
Yeah.
And we have to reconcile with that.
Yeah.
And then we have to, we are absolutely wrong to think that this is someone else's problem. It's not.
Yeah.
As representatives of Jesus, we are called into a life of reconciliation.
Yeah.
That's part of what came out of Ephesians. That's just cover to cover the Bible.
Yeah.
God's plan of reconciliation, because sin didn't just hurt us and God, sin hurts us and our fellow man.
Yeah.
And so God didn't just send Jesus so that we could be cool with him. He sent it so that we can walk with one another.
Yeah.
And that's what's come smacked us in the face this week, is there is a huge gap between me and others.
Yeah.
And the question is, what am I going to do about that? And so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I wish we could tell you we knew.
Yeah.
Except this is what we're going to do.
My first step was, and some people in Lakeview will know this, internet research. But, I just started reading. Okay, so a lot has been made about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and their reports. And I kind of went, I don't even know what they said.
Yeah.
So, I was starting to read through what did they find? What came out there? What are the calls to action? What? And so, lots of reading begun and yet to begun, because in the reading, there is room to listen. Yeah. Listen to the stories of people that I will never meet. But it's their story. I mean, we shared this Lakeview, we love hearing people's stories of how they met Jesus. But a lot of people carry stories that are uncomfortable to listen to, but those are really important and we need to listen. And so we need to create space for that.
And that's where reconciliation begins. It begins with understanding the other person. And so right now, really, I guess we can tell you what to do. It's to listen. And by reading these stories, we're listening. If you want to know more, some of the things we're finding or where we would suggest to start, again, let us know. Call the church. Talk at lakeviewheightsbaptist.com. These are really important things. I was given a video resource that I would share with you if you want to ask about that I started watching, which is really helpful. So if you can't read, there's that. I mean, there was a Facebook link that I looked through, pictures, and there's a lot of ways to listen. And that, I think, is the first step. So, thank you. Yeah, and you actually helped me in my listening because you gave me some links and stuff too, so we can help each other out that way. Yeah.
It's not hard to find. You just actually have to know you need to look.
Yeah.
And that's been part of the frustration of my week too. Is I sat through a lot of Canadian history classes.
And we didn't learn about it. And,
I mean, you have the excuse of going through school in the U.S. I don't. Yeah. But yet, where were those history classes?
Well, and that's one thing too. Like, I was just chatting with some friends last night, and a year ago, racial reconciliation in the States hit us in the face, and some of us were like, oh, that's a States thing. But we have our dark, hidden history that is right in our face now too. So well, and in my brain at the same time, right, what is Scripture encourages us is to shine a light in the darkness. And this is super dark. But we don't run in with a flashlight like we're here to save the day. We just simply help people find the light of the world. And that is Jesus. And so we listen. And we recognize that we get lumped, as Christians, we're lumped in with church. And there's people who will not, it doesn't matter that we're Baptists and maybe there was no Baptist run school, but we still fit with that whole category of church and so we're not going to be the ones to run in and save the day, but we can at least offer some hope, some listening, and if we can direct people to God in all of this, then He is the light who will bring, and He's the healer, and it's only going to be His work, and we can be a little bit of a conduit once we've listened, once we've been invited to be so. But it doesn't start by rushing in and banging on the door and saying we're here to help, because we don't know what it looks like yet. And so, but also, we know that there are some helps available that we can point people to for those who, there's help phone lines for those who've been through the trauma of residential schools. Or if you're like, that wasn't me, but I need someone to listen. We will listen. If you've been, whether you're part of Lakeview or not, and you're like, I'd love to share my story, I would love to hear it. And so, email, call the church office. We'll have contact information below. I'm not sure if you can. Anyways, whatever. Look us up, lakeviewheightsbaptist.com, and go there, get our emails, and we'd love to connect, and we'd love to listen. And we just want to encourage you, if if people want to share their story with you,
Yeah.
just listen. You
Yeah.
know, don't feel like you have to give answers. The first step is listening.
Yeah.
You know, people want to be heard, and that's the first step of trust. And so, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's kind of all we really have to say about that right now. But
Yeah, I mean, we kind of ended this on a heavy note, which, you know what? That's okay,
yeah,
because sometimes life is heavy, and we don't. We're not ones who want to just fake it, because sometimes you just need to. I mean, Scripture is full of lament.
yeah,
That was something a year ago that we were kind of waking up to as we were lamenting churches being closed and people dying and all of the change of life that was going on in March, April of 2020. And we're not done,
no,
right?
that's true.
So there's, because we think about lament in the Bible, some people might go, oh yeah, there's that book called Lamentations. Yes, but like what percentage of the Psalms? I'm off the
there's
top of my
a
head, I
lot.
can't
I
remember.
don't remember the
But a
percentage.
big percent of the Psalms are laments, cries of pain. God, where are you? Right? Christ Himself on the cross. God,
yeah.
why have you forsaken me? That's lament. That's the Psalms.
Yeah.
He's direct quoting the Psalms, and so we don't have answers, but at least we know where to turn when we're struggling, when we're feeling the weight, and what is the promise from our Savior, but that He will carry it with us.
Yeah.
That we can put it on Him, and He is with us.
He's with us. That's the beautiful thing. The answer is not a fact. It is a fact. I mean, Jesus, but it's a person. The answer is a person who walks with us, hears us, enters in.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, we've talked quite a bit.
We have. And so, church, thanks for joining us in this moment. Thanks for being Lakeview. Just thanks for being our church.
Yeah.
And we so greatly appreciate you and all the ways you support us and encourage us and push us to keep going. And we want to thank you for being part of this, for being part of Sunday morning at home and in the building, and even not at 10 o'clock, whenever you join in. We just want to say that we greatly appreciate you, and we're very glad that we get to share life together, even when it's not always face-to-face in person. And so thank you, Lakeview, and we will see you again real soon.